We don't have...
Well, hey, everybody. I'm Jann Arden, and welcome to the Jann Arden podcast. And I'm here in my home in Springbank, Alberta. Caitlin Green is in her home in Toronto. Sarah Burke is in her home in Toronto, and the Leafs are still in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. So
that's right.
You can see Sarah has her shirt on. They're even selling them at Costco in Calgary. They're selling Leafs shirts, and people were buying them. Anyway, I have a really great story right out of the bag for you. And then I'm going to check in with you guys, see what life is doing. We've got lots of things to talk about today. We don't have a guest. You guys are stuck with us. Woohoo!
It's nice for a change. It's nice.
So I am sitting, relaxing. I'm working this morning. I'm in the home stretch of my book. I'm going to get it handed in come hell or high water, my new novel. And, a guy comes into my yard, which is fine. His name is Dwayne. He's here to put up the ice guards on my roof. And ice guards are basically, they cut up the snow as it slides down my tin roof, and it keeps them from being 10-foot wide slabs and cuts them into smaller, more manageable chunks so that I don't die from my house killing me.
Phew.
So he's here. He's in a white truck. Kind of a standard Ford thing. It's parked in my driveway, very visible. 2 minutes later, Poppy's barking his freaking head off. My phone rings. It's my friend Nathan from the RCMP. He goes, "Jann, are you home?" I said, "Yeah." "Is there a white truck in your driveway?" "Yeah." "Do you know who that is?" "Yeah. It's a guy named Dwayne." Like, he works here. He goes, okay. I had 4 police cars in my cul-de-sac.
No.
They were chasing a stolen car, a stolen truck, a white stolen truck. And so I'm just like, he goes, okay. He said, "Do you want to do something fun? Should we come out with guns blaring and just, come through your gate and scare the shit out of him?" I said, I don't want to give the man a heart attack. Like, I'm not insured for shit like that. But it was so funny. And Nathan was laughing. He goes, "Well, we'll keep," and I can hear him talking to the other officers. "It's not him. Stand down." They were ready to crash through my yard. And if I'd not been home, I am going out this afternoon after this. Had I not been home, they would have come through that fucking gate. And Dwayne would have been there going, hands on the ground. I don't know what would have happened to him.
Oh,
anyway, that's my excitement for the day. I might as well retire now.
Is this one of the RCMP guys who came over for dinner from winning the golf course thing?
No.
Oh, okay,
no,
different guy.
No, different guys. That was fun though.
That was fun.
That was thousands and thousands of dollars that go towards helping young men get off drugs that are now out there stealing white pickup trucks, apparently.
No.
That was stupid. Edit that out. Thousands and thousands of dollars we made. So that was a really great dinner. I was glad we did it. So you guys, tell me everything, what's going on.
Have you been outside, Caitlin? Toronto is so nice today.
I literally just got home 15, 20 minutes ago. I was out all this morning and it's so beautiful. I can feel everyone's energy just skyrocketing. And I had therapy this week. And I even said to my therapist that I was feeling so much better from seeing the sun. And she said that pretty well 100% of her patients were all reporting elevated moods because of the weather. They all directly attributed it to the weather, which is, very accurate. So it's gorgeous outside. The Leafs are making me nervous. They have another game tonight because we're recording this on Wednesday. So by the time you're listening to this, we could all be real depressed over here.
Game 2 and 3 will have passed by that point.
So tell me,
crap, you're right.
Oh God, I'm thinking about you guys.
Just game 2.
There's lots of Canadian teams still in this thing.
Yeah, what did I see yesterday? That this is the first time since what year? Let's see if I still have that up.
1965 or some freaking thing.
Yeah, it's an epic historical year for Canadian teams. Winnipeg seems to be going nuts. Like my friends who live in Winnipeg, let me see. Oh, it's gone. It was past 24 hours. Oh, no, I got it. And it is... no, that was something else. I'm Googling it. You know how I do.
Yeah, Google. We got all the time in the world.
Yeah, I don't know who's still in it because I'm Leafs focused.
Tell me how it feels to have this kind of excitement in the city. I mean, obviously you've had the Raptors that have done so well, but this is different. With the Leafs, there's a
terrifying.
whole... Okay.
It's
Can't
absolutely
eat,
terrifying.
can't sleep. It's great.
It's traumatic because when you think about how many times we've come so far and been so close and have blown it in like game 7 in the most, and we'll have like, I'm never comfortable with a lead in any Leafs game. We can have a 5-point lead. It could be 5-0 in the third, and I am still nearly throwing up because I know how this can go. And
5-0 in the third.
No,
yeah,
it's happened. Don't
listen,
laugh.
it's
The Winnipeg game the other night,
Mhm.
going into double overtime. Okay, keep going.
Watching what happened to, I forget, who were they playing? Was it Kansas or something? Who are they playing?
Okay, wait. The Leafs you're not talking about.
No, I'm not
There's
talking
no
about the
Kansas.
Leafs. I'm talking about the game against, it was Edmonton playing against, was it the Blues? Anyways, they were playing, okay, against the Blues. And the Blues had a very Leafy-like loss that ended up happening. And I was watching, there was TikToks going crazy of all the Blues fans just crying in front of their TV screen. And I felt like we've been there. So yeah, so it doesn't, it's like, yes, there's still a playoff vibe, but no one's comfortable. And our goalie's out. Our goalie is out in this bizarrely, familiar feeling, like yucky, gross stuff for the Leafs. So him being out is bad. And we needed him because like we're up against a fairly physical team. And he was like, what is he, like 6'5"? Like for a goalie, he's big.
Let's connect
And then
this
with
back to
skates
therapy. There's an
Yes.
actual therapy connection here in that, I would liken it to PTSD. Leafs game 7, Boston Bruins, Brad Marchand, and now here he is playing against us in the Panthers team, and we have to relive this every time we see his little face.
Yeah.
You guys are, if you guys could see yourselves right now,
you should see my mother, Jan.
This is funny.
Yeah.
But the frenzy, the Leafs fans are wacko.
Well, it is a special disorder to love a team this much for this long and still have them absolutely crush your dreams and stomp on your balls every
I got the
playoffs.
history. I got the history for us just to wrap this up. The 3 Canadian teams make round 2 for the first time since 2004.
Okay.
And it has been 21 years since the Stanley Cup playoffs featured the 3 teams. It will be up to one of these 3 teams looking to end our championship drought. Last time, 1993, when the Canadians beat the Kings. Okay, there's the history lesson.
1993 is the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. 93, 30 years ago?
Yep. Over 30 years ago.
Oh, no,
what's your math doing? 1993 to 2003 to 2013 to 2023. Yeah, 32 years.
Oh my God. I don't know. So the Flames won in the 80s, correct? 89 maybe?
Hold on.
The Calgary Flames won, because that was, I remember our city was, I've never seen the city so red in my life. It looked very liberal, very red. And there was something called the Red Mile that's still sort of downtown where, when they won, there was this women showing their breasts and stuff. It's weird what people do when you win. 1989. Did I guess it? I'm almost like a hockey pro.
You're a hockey nut
stat
too.
person. Well, listen, I'm cheering for the Leafs. I want you to know that.
I
don't know anything about anything. I'm not cheering for frickin' Edmonton. I love you guys, Edmonton, but I can't cheer for you just because Danielle Smith is up there too much in Edmonton. And she's
That's a fair one. Yep.
I just can't do anything that she's remotely has anything to do with. Now she wants to, start this separatist movement. Again, we've lived through this about 29 fucking times.
I thought it was interesting because I saw a letter and I didn't go through it closely enough to know, but it was signed by a group of indigenous elders and they were
I saw that.
Yeah. And I thought this was so perfect because they were basically saying, we have treaties. This is our land. And who the hell do you think you are trying to say that you're going to secede? You're a settler. Like you're a settler, so you can take people. If you people want to all leave and go to the U.S., like have at it.
Yeah,
like truly leave. But then
Crown land.
Exactly. I was like, can you imagine mean, we talked about this in our book club this week, which we had the recording for last night, where the Jann's Book Bag members meet and we talk about our book selection. And this month's selection was from a two-spirited indigenous elder here in Ontario. And so this is sort of like forefront in our minds right now. And I saw that letter and just thought, good for you. Because do you know how outrageous this would be if you were an indigenous person? Like, oh yeah, well, we're going to take our land. They're like, whose land are you talking about?
I have the
you
letter
pick it
that
up
was
and walk away.
I have this letter that was written to Danielle Smith. Do you want me to read a bit of it? Okay. So they did request a formal meeting. Your recent political maneuvering dismisses the foundational legal and moral agreements that make Alberta's existence possible. These treaties do not expire with shifting political winds. A nation's right to self-determination cannot and will not be erased by provincial policies or political agendas. It is a direct violation of the treaty relationship that exists between our nations and the Crown. Our treaties are internationally binding, solemn covenants, and cannot be broken by any province or political party.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
And one other little thing, folks. They're called national parks.
I saw that too. That
Banff
you posted
National
yesterday.
Park, Jasper National Park.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of national parks here that have nothing to do. They really aren't Alberta's land. They are owned and operated by the people of Canada. They are Canadian. So what are you going to, anyway, she's an idiot. I'll say it here. Danielle Smith, you are an absolute disgrace. You're an idiot. The white people sitting in your shitty lawn chairs in front of, the Parliament buildings for your big rally. You guys are an embarrassment to yourselves. You guys are just an absolute.
Me too.
Listen, I wish I was making this shit up.
No, I saw the post. I saw your post, and I just thought to myself, it's a pretty depressing sight for a variety of reasons. But it is not going to go many places. And it is just these people who are so committed to rage farming all the time. And it has
farming.
It's become really common, obviously, with certain opinion columnists and figureheads in media. But now to see it kind of in the provincial leaders it's just embarrassing. I'm like, you're embarrassing yourself. You're really embarrassing yourself.
It is laughable. And I don't want to dwell on that. I want to say, for someone like me who's lived here all my life, I'm proud to be Canadian. I'm proud to be an Albertan, sort of. It's getting harder and harder to do all the time. But, she forgets about the millions of people that want nothing to do with this. And I'm just over it. I'm just really over it. So let's talk about something else. I'm not going to give her any more airtime. Or the separatist ding-dongs.
Did you guys see anything to do with the Met Gala this year?
You know what? I want to hear about that, because I actually, for the first time, was in bed flipping through the Met Gala outfits. Now, I didn't see anything that super, super catch my eye. Like, there was no Kanye with Kim Kardashian in like black socks that you couldn't see them, and they needed 8 people to guide them down the stairs and all that shit. So you tell me what the standout is, and tell us what the Met Gala does and where the money goes, or if this is a fundraiser. Explain Met Gala to those of us who don't know what the hell it is.
Okay, so it's held on the first Monday of May, and there's always a theme. And this year's theme was Black Dandyism, and so it was a nod to African Americans' contribution to style and the culture of like Black dandyism. So like lots of suits and wide lapels, and I thought this was a really amazing theme. And I'm going to look up the quote now, but there was a quote from, I think they usually have presenting, like Anna Wintour from Vogue will always sort of be one of the presenting chairs. And usually there's like a celebrity co-chair or two. And I know one of them this year was Coleman Domingo. And I love him, and I loved his outfit. And his outfit was an homage sort of to Andre Leon Talley, who, if you're a fashion file like me,
I enjoyed him over the years.
Me too. And so I really liked seeing the inspiration and very talented stylists who are really doing, like, whether or not you buy into the glitz and the glamour and the Hollywood fame of it all, what they're wearing and what they choose to dress these stars in, like, it is art. Like, you're wearing art, and there's historical context. And so I really enjoyed seeing all the different fashion houses kind of come along with this theme. Diana Ross, this is her.
Okay, go on YouTube if you want to see the clip that Caitlin's showing.
She's walking the carpet. She has this massive train. Look at this train going up the stairs. So yeah, so the Met Gala raises money for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I think tickets vary in price. There will be like entire tables purchased by different organizations or fashion houses.
How much that is.
You can expect to pay between 75 grand US a ticket or up to like 350,000 US for a table. And it's a huge night. It raises a lot of money. And I don't know why, just like I don't always like it, but this year I did really like some of the outfits. I really kind of like enjoyed watching it.
Oh, cool. Well,
yeah,
it's
Rihanna's pregnant with her third child. That was revealed on the carpet for the Met Gala as well.
Okay. And she's kind of not been in the music business for a while. I mean, we saw her with the lovely Super Bowl performance. That's quite a few years ago now, but
yeah,
that was a big deal then. And now we're going into another baby.
Yep. Baby number 3.
So is she just going to be a mom now? Like she's got no new records coming out or anything?
Lots of business ventures though. Like,
yeah.
Lingerie
Fendi
line and
yeah, she's got
makeup.
like her Fenty beauty line and lingerie, and then she does a partnership with Puma. And so I think between all of those different business ventures, I think that is really what pushed her to billionaire status. So I don't know. I don't know that she's going to be rushing back into music. I mean, you got 3 kids. And I feel as though her and her, partner A$AP Rocky just sort of have a good thing going. And I feel like they're pretty domestic.
Yeah, it must be nice not to worry about stuff. Did you see the Lady Gaga concert in Rio?
No, I didn't.
Like 1.5 million people on that beach. It was a free concert.
Gosh.
It went as far as the eye could see. And I believe it was free for the people attending. She did this concert. I have never seen that many people at a concert in my life. So they must have had dozens and dozens of time delay speakers because, as you know, sound is kind of this tangible wave of actual, like it's tactile, it's vibrations, right? And so if she's singing on the stage, that voice going way, way, way back there would be seconds away because it doesn't move at the speed of light. It moves at the speed of sound. It's a lot slower. So anyhow, I was so happy for her in the moment. A post that was up this morning had a lot of stuff that people had said about her in high school. They're like, Stephanie, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to be famous, you idiot. She's a loser. Like all these people that low-key bullied her all through school because she was artistic, she was creative, she was unique, she didn't fit herself. She wasn't like, oh, I'm going to make sure that I make myself small so that I'm not too much for them and I can fit into the group. She kept making herself big and kept being who she was. And man, oh man, did she ever monetize on that. If you guys have a chance to go click on some pictures of the Lady Gaga Brazilian Rio de Janeiro concert, just to see the drone shots of the drone going over that audience is breathtaking.
And I remember our little monster, I can't recommend enough. There's a podcast that's part of the New York Times podcast called The Interview. It's like part of the Daily. Good. And her conversation in the interview is fantastic and very in-depth and really gives a lot of insight into who she is as an artist and how she kind of came to be in her struggles. And then for funsies, she's also on Las Culturistas, another one of my favorite pods. And that's like a much more fun kind of like interesting kind of upbeat convo, but they're both great. So if you're a little monster, check those out.
And
Sarah,
that's what she calls her fans, little monster.
The little monsters. No, I was just going to say, do you remember like the first concert that you played where you looked out into the crowd and could not believe how many people had come to see you? Like that moment where you're just like,
I mean, I've certainly had moments like that during SARS, back in the day when SARS was a thing. It was the precursor to COVID. Certainly it was a disease that really affected people's, breathing. And it was a scary freaking time. The SARS 2003. Anyways, they did a huge concert, the Rolling Stones. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
And there was, I think they had expected, was it 250,000 people? And to me, that was I couldn't even picture that. And I remember being at the safety briefing because, long story short, my friend Ed said, "Would you sing the national anthem?" And I did. It was so scary. Like, don't sing national anthems. If you can avoid it, you'll just you get massacred no matter how well you do. Or anyway, I did it. But looking out at that crowd and at the safety briefing, they said there will be a heart attack and a death today with just statistically with 250,000 people in one area. Statistically, there will be a cardiovascular death today because of the sheer amount of people.
This is not where I was trying to go.
I'm at this safety
Sarah.
briefing. but think
Do
about
you
it.
remember
I'm just
that time?
saying there's the concert, and then there's all the behind the scenes stuff when you've got people telling you, listen, there's no way out of here.
And you might
have
die.
to stay in place. You can't just get out of a crowd of 250,000 people. They're not going to lift you up by helicopter. Anyway, it was freaky. And
I'm not laughing at this.
I don't think I ever want to be in a crowd that big again.
Okay.
Okay. And that's our
for
show.
That insight.
So thank you.
So Jan, so right now you're home.
Mm-hmm.
Tour, the mixtape tour starts in a couple weeks.
June. Yeah.
How's
So
that?
soon.
How's that all feeling?
Well, I'm going today to finish up my clothes shopping. The band is all going to be in white. So they're in different white outfits, and they conceivably become little mini screens for the lighting. Cute. So that's kind of cool. That's the only thing I'll give away because Chris will kill me. And of course, it's all 90s. So
and then Katy Perry pops out in the robot suit.
And then I fight somebody with a dryer hose that has detached from the back. Oh, we can't go there. I was listening to last week's podcast, and I just thought, oh, God, I still feel sorry for her. I know she's terrible, but I still feel sorry for her. But she's got lots of money, and she's married to Orlando Bloom.
I know. I mean, she's living her great life no matter what happens, but did you guys happen to look up the real estate thing?
I did not.
No.
Remember
you
you were saying that you're like, oh, I feel like people are being mean to her, and which I agree, people are objectively being mean to her, but that I get sort of vibes that she's not necessarily the nicest person. And I think it's because I've heard these stories about how she intimidates people to gain real estate. And there's actually a law in California called Katy Perry, it's like Katy Perry's law, and it's to protect the elderly from having their properties taken out from under them, or from it's crazy because of how much of this she's been involved in. So anyways, I don't feel that bad.
That's not a law that you want to have named after yourself. No. The Jann Arden law to protect the elderly from having their wallets stolen while in diners. It's the Jann Arden law.
Okay, speaking of you and your record label, I was going to tell you this. I'm doing an event at Universal tomorrow. It's like an open house during Departures conference that's in Toronto right now. And our guy that we normally deal with for the studio for when we're doing our live shows, he's telling me that he got a hot dog truck. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, at the home of Jann Arden, you got a hot dog truck?
For Universal, they've got a hot dog truck?
For tomorrow.
Oh my God, I hope they have veggie dogs. I'm telling you.
If they don't, I got
If they don't, you'll be hearing from me.
Yeah.
I want to rewrite my contract.
No more hot dogs. But it made it sound like a ballpark, circus. So
I thought you meant that the guy that worked at Universal has gone out on his own and gotten himself a hot dog cart.
That's a way better
the
story.
record business is dwindling. We are struggling to make ends meet.
A hot dog vendor once subletted a room in the house I lived in university.
Did you get free dogs?
I'm not joking. No, I left. Because when he came in, I was like, goodbye, because my roommate had subletted her room for the summer, which was hard to do. It's hard to have someone else pay your rent for the summer. Usually you're just stuck paying it yourself. And so she would take anyone she could get, I guess. And I was staying there for a week to pack up my stuff. And I thought I'm going to have this fun week to myself in Halifax. And she says, oh no, my subletter's coming early. And I was like, oh shoot, well, whatever. It's not a big deal.
And it's the hot dog guy.
It's the hot dog guy.
When I tell you, this man rolled up in a convertible LeBaron with a hot dog stand rattling behind him, sounding like an old prospector's wagon, and then proceeded to get out of this car and unload a comedic amount of hot dog condiments, including sauerkraut and pre-cut onions, and load them all into the fridges of our house.
Oh my
And
God.
then invited 2 of his friends to come stay at the house with him while I'm there, who I've never met. And it was a couple, and they got to the house and decided they were going to have a shower and began loudly having shower sex.
This is
This is why Jan never had roommates, literally.
This was the last time I've ever lived with anyone, and I already didn't enjoy the experience, but I'm not, when I tell you this, I literally got my stuff, left the house. I'd already mostly packed. I went to go stay at my friend's place, and I changed my flight and came home early because I was like,
I don't blame
the
you.
flight. Okay.
I don't blame you.
I was like, I will be hot diggity damned if I'm going to live with this hot dog vendor. There is no way in wiener water soaked hell
We are
that I am
hilarious today. We are at the height of hilarity today, folks.
Anyways,
Hot
that's my
diggity
story.
damned. Let's get t-shirts.
Okay, back to your tour for a second. I just
Oh
did want
God,
to.
she's gonna wrangle us today.
I'm
Caitlin.
wrangling. We got things on the go here.
Okay.
Your record label has graciously donated a prize pack that we're going to be giving away closer to your record, which includes
Closer
your
to
new
the
album.
tour?
Yep, which includes your
What is
new mixtape vinyl as well as some back catalog stuff. So
Ooh,
make sure you're
God
following
knows I've got
along.
back catalog stuff.
Our Patreon people will know about all of this first. So that's a good place to keep up to date. Yeah.
No,
my dad uncovered a photo during the recent moving, packing up of my parents' house in the beach. And he uncovered a photo because he used to work in music distribution back in like the 90s of him with you, Jan.
Shit.
You came through one of the you came through one of the distributing offices when it was your album that came after Living Under June. And you were going through. Yeah, exactly. It was Happy. And so you were going through for that. And so he has it somewhere. There's a photo of you with him in like
Isn't that
some
crazy?
office.
That's bonkers. It really
I know.
is. I used to go to the distribution centers all the time. So imagine the labels, they operated with tactile product. Like you had to have product. You had to go in and buy a record. You didn't download. Even this is predating Napster, which was the smack daddy wrecking ball of this whole shit and caboodle, how it happened. So, but you'd go because you'd go to encourage the distributing guys, and you'd say hi and you'd sign stuff. And oh my God, I used to come out of those centers. They'd always give me like a canvas bag that was like Kiss or the Tijuana Brass or, somebody, the Carpenters, and you would just fill it with CDs or discs. And back in the day, there used to be a wall that was probably 20 feet high and 15 feet wide that was just rolled up posters of the coolest posters of artists. And they don't do that really anymore. I mean, there's so few actual record stores where they're putting up posters that they're probably special orders. But I had so many posters.
Do you know anything about how the cassettes are? Like you have cassettes on this tour. You're selling cassettes for mixtape.
I don't know. I think it's like a novel. They're pink cassettes.
Yeah.
And I told you guys I bought a cassette deck at a Value Village. Amazing. It works. That's what the sticker said. It works. Just $5. I haven't tried it yet.
When I tell you that I was I had the hangout house because Jan, if you can imagine, my dad working there. So we had 2 full closets. And again, this is just being able to listen to anything on your phone. You had to have physical copies of anything to watch a movie or to listen to a CD. So, and they were expensive. And I had an endless supply of movies, music, and video games. And so, I mean, we probably had all of your albums for sure. We did, if it was a Canadian artist, especially. And our garage sales were like a big deal back in the day because those posters and stuff, like my dad came home with like a full car every week.
It was so exciting. And then it just sort of dwindled. It started in the 90s. It just started to near the end of the 90s. Napster was there. And I'm guilty. I remember sitting on my dial-up home computer where I was living. And and then clicking on a file that I could not believe that I could wait for 15 minutes to download any song I could imagine. And I probably had, I don't know, 70 or 80 songs in my little thing eventually that I would listen to. And then I could burn them. Then I could burn them onto discs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why we went to Uncle Gary's house. Uncle Gary's house was where we burned the CDs.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I think I probably took out at least 2 of my family computers with viruses from downloading
Oh,
so
yeah.
many. I had like 2,000 songs. I probably had like a
Oh.
terabyte of music, and
Well, you brought down the music business. It wasn't me.
I did. And I worked at one point I worked at a music store too. But still, like even with discounts and free CDs and stuff, I was like, there's never enough.
There has been so many changes. And I feel like we're just starting to get caught up and figuring out how to monetize streaming. I mean, and we've talked about this before many times, is you got to stream a lot of songs, like millions and millions and millions to see any kind of substantial sort of payback. Like if you're thinking you're going to get a check for $200,000, I don't know. I'm going to find out the math one of these days, but I bet you it's 70 million spins. Like it's just nuts. It's so much. Okay, now I have no idea what I'm saying right now. I want you guys to know that I'm going to retract that statement because I really don't know what it is.
Okay.
But I'd be curious to know, what does Taylor Swift make from all the streaming? Like, does she get a check every quarter for $1 million? Like, I don't know how it works. Nobody, but they don't know how it works.
Yeah, I truly don't know how it works. I feel like if I Google
my reminder came up just now to remind me about this podcast.
Which makes no sense because we've been in it for 40 minutes and it is adjusted to your
Sarah,
time zone.
I do the best I can to be on Jann Central Time, Jann Mountain, JMT.
I was like, oh, we're in Jann Mountain Time now? Are you an hour behind on your computer?
No,
Who
I don't
knows?
think so. Listen, I'm
Okay.
very tech savvy. You ask me anything. Chris always is very impressed with how I fix his phone. So Chris, my road manager,
Yes.
like when shit hits the fan, folks, I am the person that can get your email back, figure out how to reinstall your Instagram, how to send
migrate
this
a
to
server.
No.
Guys,
No.
I'm leaving on my trip soon. I plan 2 of my destinations on the weekend.
Okay, let's hear everything about that.
And I'm open to any feedback. If you think I did make a terrible mistake on one of these decisions, there's time to change it. Okay. So we are flying through Florence, me and my girlfriend, both there and back. We have
Italy?
Yes. We have a yoga retreat in the middle of it in Tuscany, in a little village in Tuscany. So that is 6 days where our accommodations are already set, but we have 3 days on either side. So we wanted like a little bit of like a beach water vibe. And then we also wanted to do like a lot of Italian tourist things.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we get into Florence, and we maybe should have flown through Rome, but the price was right on the Florence flight.
Mm-hmm.
We are taking a train immediately to like the Puglia area where like Bari is. We get off at Bari Central, and then we got the cutest, most beautiful Airbnb. Still have time to cancel it. We're there for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, we found a perfect little Airbnb in Florence that's very close to everything, including, is it called the Duomo?
The Duomo. Yep.
Yeah. So you've done all the, oh yeah, you got married in Italy, didn't you, Caitlin?
Yeah. Got married there, got married in Tuscany, and
Okay.
also
Do you know
had done
where?
another trip separately. So the closest town to where we, like the villa and stuff where we got married, was called Greve in Chianti.
Chianti is going to be a day trip that we're going to do when we're staying in Florence.
So yeah, there's tons of beautiful places. Like I mean, Tuscany's stunning, like from Montepulciano to like, but Greve and Chianti, if you're in Chianti, is like kind of the biggest town. And I feel like maybe it's in September because they had it when we were there, but they do a wine festival that is so fun in this really historic town square.
Love it.
Yeah,
I feel like everything will be wine while we're there. But this region near Bari where we are, it's called Polignano a Mare. Look on YouTube if you want to see like what I'm showing you. Like, look at this. Like,
gorgeous.
That's where we're.
Wow.
So how long is it going to take you though to get from Florence to Bari?
Florence to Bari, it's going to be 6 hours on the train. And then we're there. And then
you
we're
will
there
love
for the 3
train,
days.
though. You can get drinks and snacks. And
on the way back to Florence, we booked the overnight one so that we don't waste time, and we sleep on the train and don't have accommodations like for the night.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm actually excited. When we were booking
I'm
that,
excited
actually,
for you.
In the different like tiers of train tickets that you can buy, what did it say? It was like, what was the
Agatha
word?
Christie special. You could possibly be murdered on this journey.
No, it was like saying like This is for like a couple, and this was for, it said like promiscuous, the word promiscuous, and I was like, I don't know if we want that train. What does that mean? So we looked up what that
A
meant.
man will come into your suite.
No, I'm so glad I looked it up. I was like, oh no, this is fine. It just means that like you would want privacy with who you're with, type of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no like shared spaces.
yeah.
Okay.
So you can have train relations, as it were.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
Might
the
be
way
cramped.
back, you never know how. But if Bari's amazing, then we'll figure that out.
Now on this trip, and I'm just going to
Yes.
put this out there.
Yes.
You guys are both single, correct?
She's in a relationship.
She's in a
single.
relationship. So
Yeah.
is this something on a trip like this, Sarah, that as a single grown-ass woman,
Yeah.
that you would conceivably consider going on a date on this trip? And, or do you think you'll just be pretty streamlined with your pal?
I will say that this friend would not care if I wanted to go on a date. If we arranged it that it's not taking away from any of our time and it's like when she's going to rest or something, this friend would be totally down for me to live my life and do whatever I want. But yeah, because it's only 3 days
Yeah, it doesn't.
on either side, like I don't necessarily want to do that to my friend. It's one thing if you're sitting at a bar and you've already had dinner with the girlfriend and then you just end up talking to people, meet someone, have a little
Yep.
makeout on the way home. That's different.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like how you put that. Little
Italian men
makeout
are
on the way
forward
home.
and hot, so I mean, don't rule it out.
I know. I'm like, all of my friends are warning me how hot Italian men are. I'm like, okay.
It's crazy. The outfits, the everything. I
The
say this every time
outfits?
I've gone. Oh, like, I mean, an Italian man just can work linen like no one in North America ever could dream of.
And it doesn't wrinkle.
It doesn't. And like, if it does, it just looks like good. And there's from sunglasses to like slip on shoes, like they just get it. And I think because it's sort of like, it's like Spain or like Paris, it's like a whole society of men who just like appreciate style. And also, like, as a society, men and women there seem to value and appreciate pleasure, like from eating to how you dress to taking vacations. Like,
they have 3-hour nap time every day where everything shuts down. I'm like, this life.
no, it's like, it's crazy to go
Fiesta
there.
time.
And they eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night. So
well, that's
No,
because
it's-
fiesta time is, and then you come out of fiesta
Wait, so
time
you mean
to come.
siesta in Spain?
Oh, yes, siesta, not no.
I was like, what?
No, I think it is called siesta as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were saying fiesta, and I was like,
I totally was. Fiesta, siesta, same.
No, it's very like, it's really, yeah, Italy's really special. We did Florence, so we flew in and out of Florence once when we went to Italy. Other than that, Rome is obviously great, but that's like, you can do Rome. Like, Rome is its whole own trip. It's such a big
it
city.
really is.
Side. And it's a Jubilee year, and the Pope situation with the
I was gonna
conclave.
say.
Like it's going to be busy everywhere in these main cities, which we are
Mhm.
prepared for. But like, if we can avoid some of that, I'm happy to.
I just read that there's betting houses taking bets on who's going to be the Pope. You can bet on
course.
that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
How is that illegal?
Yeah. In some
That's
cases,
blasphemy, betting
saw a
on who's going to
clip
be the
from-
Pope.
I saw a clip from another podcast this morning where they were comparing it to like the NFL draft, the way all the
Mhm.
popes are on the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, wow, that is just like a draft pick. A number one coming in from Lithuania is Mitchell.
I'll send you guys.
Good,
in,
good
I'll,
day.
I'll DM us in our like Instagram pod chat the
Okay.
breakdown that I most enjoyed of this, and it was the same thing. It treated it like it was fantasy football, and they were like going through all the different
Yeah.
popes, and it was so funny.
I saw
Well-
it from our friends Sam and Lisa from the I Shake My Head podcast. That's where I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, funny.
Well, I'm not going to be making any bets because I don't know anything about anything.
yeah.
Do you guys do fantasy hockey? That's a thing too, right?
No, but like if I have a gift card to like one of the betting apps, I will bet on like a playoff game for sure.
Have you ever made money on a betting app?
Yeah, enough to buy the next one and lose.
Okay.
Kyle has made
addictive.
some. I don't. It's not
Yeah.
for me.
It is thrilling though when you're like, they just pulled that pit, like especially in baseball when they like change pitchers and you're like, oh my God, this could happen now. It's really exciting.
I do enjoy a casino.
Mm.
I like a casino. I will do the slots. I do like the penny slots. I won't get in there. I won't do a buck a slot. It's just that's for special times only. That would be way back in the drinking days. That would be with a GT in your hand when you stick $20 in and you have like 4 spins for $5 each. I mean, that's ridiculous thinking now. Now you play the machines where you have no idea why you win. and you just you do a penny at a time. Only your bets are like 80 cents. So they got you, right? The penny, it's not really a penny. You can bet like 80, 88 cents. What's with that? Anyway, if you guys ever want to do anything nice for me, take me to a casino, get me a Diet
Okay.
Coke, and just encourage me.
The only
And-
time I've ever been to Vegas, I was underage, and it was so weird. What a weird experience.
That is weird.
Yeah, I think we were 18. We weren't even of age in Canada to drink.
What is it? 19 down there?
21.
21.
Oh, 21. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, one of my girlfriends growing up, her dad had like a thing where he always went, and we went with him one time, and we were like, "Where's the pool?" Like, it was just really weird.
Yeah, when you're underage, you want to go to Montreal because that's where drinking age is 18, but they like don't really care. You could like
Same here in
probably-
Alberta.
Yeah, you could like get into a bar in Montreal with braces on, like they don't care.
I think 18's too young.
Oh yeah,
I like
you're
19.
not
I think
responsible.
19's fine. I mean, it all felt very arbitrary when I considered how early it was that we started drinking in high school anyways. Like I was like, okay, I can't go to a bar, big deal. We're all having having house parties and drinking since we were 16 years old basically. So,
Yeah.
Listen, before we have very much meandered, I want to just not only apologize to our listeners, but I've enjoyed this very much because it's always nice, a nice break when you don't have the extra pressure, and it is sometimes for me, for all of us, of having, these cool guests. And, whenever I sit down, I'm never like, oh, cool, great. I'm nervous. I'm like looking at my notes that you guys give me and trying to make sure that I do everything okay. But anyway, I'm glad that we had a chance just to shoot shit, as it were.
Me
But
too.
before we go, we do have a few minutes, and Sarah and I were talking about this just before you popped on, Caitlin, and that was about entrepreneurship. Like, just I want to take like 5, 6, 7 minutes just to speak to that, because there's so many people, especially going into the summer, speaking of hot dog carts, that are just doing like, talk to me about that, Sarah, and sort of why that was on your mind this morning.
So right before we got on to do the podcast, I was just fresh in from a bike ride. I jumped in the shower because I was a little bit sweaty, and I was thinking about this as I was riding into town. Like I normally do like a 20K bike ride, 10K in, 10K out. And I was like, I am so lucky that I can set this to be my lunch break, that to go to Italy, I'm the person I'm requesting my time off from, like, dear boss, and sure, we like worked a little later last night. We had our book big Zoom, but I was just appreciating like how dynamic I can make my life in whatever way I want it to be. And I thank entrepreneurship for that, because I'm reporting to me and 17 other podcasters. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just
But
feeling
that's
like really
pretty cool.
thankful. I was feeling thankful.
But it is a leap of faith. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when we had those early conversations when Caitlin and I left Bell, and we were just like, yeah, let's do this. Let's team up and build something really cool. And how many podcasts did you start with?
Before you came into the fold, there were 3, because that Bell thing was not on our bingo card. It just happened. And then at official launch, it was 7. And today there are 17. Now, some are not active or some are on a break, but there's 17 total right now.
That's pretty incredible.
And don't get me wrong, like there are days and weeks where it's like scary for my bank account, and I'm just like, it's going to be okay. And, I'm betting on things being okay the next week, but I wouldn't give this up for anything.
Well, I mean, there's nothing more gratifying than working for yourself. It's like owning a home instead of renting one.
Yeah.
That's what I would liken it to, because every time you invest, that monthly payment goes out. You think, and I'm not knocking renting. Renting is probably the frickin' way to go these days. It's so expensive. But I'm just kind of using that as an example of, I remember when I got my first little condo in Calgary, right downtown, it was $67,500 for a 2-bedroom in 1993.
Cool.
I sold it for 72. I made like $7,000 or $8,000. I drive by it all the time. They got their barbecue out there, and I'm wondering, I bet you that thing's $470,000 now.
Cool, right?
And it was very, very small little galley kitchen, and nothing to, but yeah, it makes me laugh. Now my mom and dad helped me buy it. But yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. And everything I do is based on the idea that I can monetize my intellectual ideas, my intellectual property. And, whether it's opening a gift store or whether it's selling socks, custom made socks, or printing t-shirts, or, if you're out there sitting in your living room right now pondering, I want to make a change, don't think it's not going to be scary, because it will be. It's going to be scary.
Yeah.
But there is a way to find that balance. And it is a real, it's exciting. And to meet like-minded people, and you can do it, guys.
I was just going to say, and Caitlin, like, stop me if you don't want to get into this any further, but Caitlin's been like seeing what opportunities are around, and like, we had a conversation the other day where, you just sort of mentioned that you really appreciated like having the time and space to decide like what's right for you right now, and like go in the direction of things that interest you more than things that you were maybe just considering because. I don't know if you want to talk further about it, but.
Well, it was mostly just like, the internal debate of like going back into working for someone else, like larger companies, that kind of thing. And I feel like it's less appealing probably than it was when I was younger. Like it is. I have so much more interest in areas that are pretty hard to turn into one job for someone else. Like I have so many things that I'm passionate about on like individual project basis that I think I'm more and more interested in doing freelance stuff, whether that's like, a set, like an article, or pitching ideas for like custom content, like custom digital audio content, or like hosting gigs or whatever. Those things I'm more interested in doing as they come to me based on like things I'm interested in relationships I've built. It just feels a little bit more exciting, even though, it's definitely less secure. But there's more to it now than I feel like there was when I was younger. When I was younger, I just was like, oh, okay, I'm going to always work for someone else. And I don't really feel that way as much anymore.
I never, ever thought I'd be an entrepreneur. Like even 5-6 years ago, like I never thought that ever.
Why, you just sort of valued the comfort of getting that paycheck and not having to worry about doing payroll or taking on that responsibility?
Like I did always like my jobs, but there were things that started like, it's like that ick factor. Like once you turn a corner with the ick factor and you're like, this isn't sitting well with me, that slowly starts taking over. What before was maybe a pleasant 9 to 5 then turns into I'm spending half the day managing your emotions and then my emotions.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, and I also think too, I didn't know any entrepreneurs growing up. Like everyone I knew worked for other companies for the most part, or they worked for, like they were teachers or nurses or whatever. And so I think I didn't have that kind of example. And and especially in media, like that's really changed recently with the creator economy and the way that social media has impacted breaking down all these barriers to access eyeballs and to access an audience. So I think that makes it all feel more exciting and more possible than it ever was in this specific field.
You know what? We actually got a message that's literally on this topic. We have a couple voice notes as well if we want to end on this.
Yeah, we do.
Cool. Wait, I want to say happy Mother's Day to everybody who's listening.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Mother's Day. I miss my mom.
Mother's Day.
I'm jealous of all you guys who have moms out there. And even when they're not perfect, and even when they're flawed relationships, I know there's a lot of complicated moms, daughter, son relationships out there. It's a pretty special day to honor these women that have molded us and given us opportunities and guided us and been mad at us and fought with us. But so happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mom. I want anyone who kind of like plays a mom role in someone's life.
I love that.
There's lots of that. There's different versions of it.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I'm a mom to Poppy.
That's right.
I'm a mom to Stevie.
Where is she?
Why are we getting smaller?
I don't know. You guys are you're shrinking down the sides of your dogs.
And I'm a mother to the mice in my house.
Do you guys have plans for Mother's Day, Caitlin?
I don't have any.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't.
Oh, maybe a surprise, Kyle.
I mean, who knows? So we'll see. We'll see.
Who knows? You guys get a box full of roses. One of those long boxes full of roses, and a gift card for a casino. So you just don't know what's ahead.
I pray to God that's not what I get because I don't gamble.
I'm feeling so emo about my sister's first Mother's Day. Like, I'm just so proud of her. And like
Cute.
you can tell being a mom is like the hardest but best thing that's ever happened to her.
For sure.
So, yeah, Caitlin was giving some ideas in the group. We were talking in our group chat about what I should get my sister. I was like, is it weird? Like, I feel like if I get this gift, that's something that her husband should get. I don't want to overshadow the husband. Like, so we worked out, and I know she doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can just say it, that we're going to do some self-care. We're going to do some self-care. Yeah.
That's the way to go.
I made some suggestion, folks, and I got blown out of the water.
What did
I was suggesting a scented candle.
Oh, yeah.
I like getting scented candles.
She'll sneeze and throw it out the window.
Yeah. No,
I said you should get her a facial.
Yes.
That was great. No, I appreciate it. You guys are in the know. Listen, all my relatives are dead, so don't feel sorry for me. I'm fine.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Thank you for reminding us to say that, Caitlin. We were getting carried away there. So very quickly, going back to entrepreneurial spirit. This is from Alyssa that wrote into our website. Mm-hmm. She says, I'm writing you because of your episode with Max from the Arkells. Something you said. I am here promoting myself because of this conversation. I'm currently working on building something meaningful. In 2016, I opened a small nonprofit nature school called Wild Roots. It's in Ottawa. We offer programs for children and forest bathing walks for adults. This year, we're piloting an outdoor book club called Read Between the Pines. I love that.
My gosh, good. That's so good.
I'm all about creating a life that revolves around creativity, storytelling, and community. It's not always easy, but your voice and honesty have reminded me to keep going, especially on the days when the momentum feels hard to find. Before I opened my nature school, I worked behind the mic as a radio personality. I officially hung up the microphone, but I'm proud to say I found a new calling as the voice of romance in Ontario's cottage country. My second novel, Signing Off for the Summer, is set to be released on June 6th. Anyway, cool. We can put more info about that in our show notes. But
that's fantastic.
She just offered a copy of the book and said, I've admired everything you talk about on the podcast, your humor, your kindness. Thank you for encouraging all of us artists.
Aw, thank you.
That. Nice. That's really,
what's
really
her
nice.
name?
Alyssa Del Palma.
Alyssa Del Palma.
Yeah.
Looking forward to your books. Congratulations. It is no easy feat putting a novel together and all the stuff you're doing. Read Between the Pines. So you might want to go online and look that up to see if you're interested in going to Read Between the Pines. But thank you for that note. Really appreciate it.
I have 2 voice notes that I have not listened to.
I just think we should just go blindly into them.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm scared.
It's going to be fine.
Hi, ladies. This is Angela, and I'm calling from Edmonton, Alberta. I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to you, Caitlin and Sarah, for the podcast that you faithfully do every week. The way you dive into some really tough stuff with so much honesty, warmth, and your real voices, it's incredibly powerful, and I really appreciate how you don't shy away from the hard conversations. And yet somehow you still manage to make me and us laugh along the way. So it means a lot, truly. Thank you for sharing your voices, your humor, and your hearts. Please keep doing what you're doing. It really matters to me, and I'm sure it matters to others as well.
Thank you very much.
I know, that was so nice.
Thank you. Please leave us voice notes. We love this, not just for our egos, but for hearing what you guys think of the show.
Honestly,
we didn't pay her to say that. I swear to God.
That was a paid political announcement by.
If this next one is Jann Arden, I'm hanging up. Okay, let's see.
It's not me. It's not me.
Hello, Jan, Sarah, and Caitlin. It is Liz in Toronto. Caitlin, you and I have messaged on Twitter/X. Here's my question. I noticed that a lot of my girlfriends who are dating, when they date a guy and tell him that she's really into reality TV, Caitlin, this is kind of aimed at you. Reality TV, Temptation Island, Love is Blind, the whole gamut, they can get very judgmental. So much so that some of my friends have stopped dating the guy. What is up with that? Why can't these guys just understand we all like trash television sometimes? We all like to eat a fast food burger sometimes, or the vegetarian version. Caitlin, can you speak to this? I'd really love to hear your opinion.
I mean, I love Liz. Hello, Liz. So yeah, I know this is so common. I don't know what happens to like straight men where they just get this binary view of like, oh, good content is only The Sopranos or The Wire, and like if it's not these two shows, I don't want to talk about it. So it's the same thing where they like also really judge astrology, yet engage in make believe being a coach of an NFL team on a seasonal basis. So like if you're engaging in pretending I'm a coach of an NFL team, but you want to like judge women for watching Housewives, get over yourself. Like you're not the smartest person in the room. I highly doubt that. And it's the same type of attitude of like, I think I back in the day when we used to rent movies, I rented a documentary and the guy behind the desk said, "Oh, I'm surprised you're renting this. I thought you would rent a rom-com." Like just like a blatantly antisocial statement for no reason. And because I was renting a documentary about the financial crisis, but I was interested in it. And so anyways, it's just it's a certain red flag that some straight men have. And honestly, I think your friends are probably right to stop dating them because there are very, very intelligent, creative people, especially people who are very engaged with pop culture and Hollywood and movies and everything. Like Mike White, the creator of White Lotus, is a diehard reality fan. Seth Rogen is a diehard reality fan. John Oliver is a diehard reality fan. Seth Rogen is a diehard reality fan. I could go on and on with people smarter than whoever your friends are on a date with being into reality TV. So like actually just don't date them anymore.
Back off.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We do have experts on this panel each week, and Caitlin is. If you have
I'm a reality
any
expert.
queries, you totally are a reality expert.
I love
I've
it.
dabbled.
It's the best.
I'm reality curious, is what they call me.
On Patreon today, I will get your opinion on the latest in my single girl life. Okay.
Okay. Ooh.
But I also feel like we need to back it up a few weeks on Patreon, Jan. You ended up having an update to a story we discussed with our Only Jans, like I think about a year ago. You met up with someone for a little reunion. Do you know which? Your old
I know what you're
manager?
talking about.
The old manager? Okay. So we have an update.
My old manager.
Yeah. So we got an update. Come over to Patreon.
Oh my gosh. I hadn't seen him for 25 years. Met with Neil McGonigal. Come hear what that was like.
Why are we getting so quiet?
I don't know. I just
Feels like
reliving that moment. Listen, you've been
Okay.
listening to the Jann Arden podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me and Caitlin and Sarah today. We did not have a guest, but we didn't need one because we are guest enough for this week. Keep strong. Keep going.
Voice
Yay, Canada.
note on.
And leave us some voice notes, okay? And thank you to everyone that did leave notes, whether you want to just write it down in a little like handwritten, typed out thing, or if you'd like to be like Angela and leave a note, or I mean, it's always great. It's a great way to end the show. Anyway, look for us, subscribe. We are on all your favorite podcast outlets. And if you hit subscribe on any of them, we will find you week after week. You won't have to look for us. It'll be bong. It'll be a Friday afternoon. And you'll be
Bing
like,
bong.
oh
Bing
my God,
bong.
bing bong. The Jann Arden podcast is in my wallet. It's right in my wallet. No, it's not going to go into your wallet. Anyway, look after yourselves. And summer's here, folks. It's coming. And I'm so excited. I can't stand it. Come and join us on Patreon. We'll see you next time. Toodaloo.